Okay, ladies, it's Thursday before we start. So the start date's getting close. How are you feeling? Hopefully you're not too nervous. Know that you can you got this. Honestly, you got this. Today we're going to talk about planning, and this is a huge part of your success, in particular meal planning. So you need to have a plan for your meals. The big thing about the 21-day fix is why it's so successful and effective is the huge focus on food. And that's where most of your results come from. 80% of your results come from nutrition. So we're fortunate enough to have Shakeology, which takes care of one meal for us, which is really the most nutritious meal you can get in your day. It's so full of all the superfoods. So that one's a given. That one's great. But everything else throughout the day obviously matters too. So you probably got your kit in the mail by now, and you have all these little containers, and they're really cute, and they're a little overwhelming. So you're probably wondering what to do with them. So I'm going to be posting, look in the file section, and I did post tons of information for you. And there's recipes in there, there's ideas, there's like a little ebook that I made up full of ideas. So look through all that stuff. But the very, very first thing you're going to want to do is get your book out and find how many calories you need. And depending on how many calories you need will depend on how many of each container you eat each day. So the way this works, so for example, I'm nursing, so I'm going to be adding 500 extra calories to my base amount that I calculated. So that puts me in the 1500 to 1799 category. So that means I get 4 greens, 3 purples, 4 reds. So that's my how many containers I'm striving for each day. So it's not per meal or anything like that. I know that can be kind of confusing, but that's how many you're aiming for the full day. So go through your lists. Something to know is the top of the list are your most nutritious foods. The bottom of your list are your ones that are not quite as nutritious. They're still approved, but they're ones you probably don't want to be eating every single day. You want to try to stay more towards the top of the list than the bottom. Now, I know that this is going to be really big change for some of you, and so if you need to start at the bottom and ease your way into it, then that's totally fine. So like yellow, for example, the top of the list we have sweet potatoes and yams and quinoa and beans. And the bottom of the list we have things like tortillas and bagels and pancakes and waffles and crackers. So obviously more processed foods. So like I said, it's still okay if you eat those, but try to eat those not being the only things that you're eating in those containers. Try to keep more at the top of the list when you're making your meal plan. So you're going to notice this is a lot of food, and a question I often get is, I don't think I can eat all this food, and I don't feel like you have to. And Autumn actually talks about that in here, that you do not feel like you do not force feed yourself. You don't want that. You don't want to be force feeding yourself, but you do want to be making sure you're getting like a balanced amount of all the containers. So if you can't eat all the food, make sure you're not only eating your yellow containers, because that one's your favorite. Your carbs, your grains, right? Make sure you're still getting in your greens and your purples, and try to still balance it out and not only stick to one of the food groups. The point of this program is to get balance and proportion. So, so a couple ways you can do this. You can find out how many containers you need each day and go through and plan out your breakfast, lunch, dinner, and 2 to 3 snacks. And you could actually, when I do this, I'll actually write it out. Breakfast, I'll write what I'm going to have. Shakeology, half a banana, 2 teaspoons peanut butter. Then I'll make tallies over here, so I know that I'm getting the right amount each day. And use the ideas and the recipes I posted or the ones in the book to help you to plan that out. Also, oops, it dropped on the ground. I've been using this, that shows how many of each container I need each day, and then I'll just cross it off as I go along, and obviously trying to get all of them so I can see, okay, I have 2 reds, 1 yellow, 1 blue, and 1 orange left, and then I can kind of plan my meals as I go, and that might work for you too. You just kind of got to find what works for you. But for your first week, I would for sure say to plan out at least a week's worth of breakfast, lunch, dinner, and 2 to 3 snacks. So you're not like, I don't know what to eat for my purple container and la la la, so then you just eat whatever, and it's, what you've been eating the past years, and then nothing's going to change. So make sure you have a plan so that you can be successful. If you have questions, please comment below. But look through the stuff I'm posting, and hopefully that'll be helpful. So you can be ready to start on Monday, and we're going to have a great 21 days. So, all right, ladies, thanks.